Hello, OSRS Noob here, and welcome to a new Minecraft series. I'm changing things up a bit and making this a tutorial. As some of you may or may not know, I have attempted a couple of times to build the Enterprise D from Star Trek The Next Generation, without success. So, I've partnered with Normandie Junction this time to try and knock this out. Normandie is building the outside of the ship, and some internal parts, and I will be doing the inside. All my videos in this series will directly correlate with his. For example, he builds out Deck 42 in his Episode 1. I will be doing the interiors of Deck 42 in my Episode 1, which is this one. Episode 2 will be for Deck 41, and so on. Unfortunately, each of my episodes will not be dropping with the same frequency as his, due to various reasons. For example, other projects I have going, personal life, etc. I also need to be designing one deck ahead before releasing the tutorial, just to make sure everything lines up properly. Notice I have Deck 41 off to the side here. If you'd like to follow along and build the ship, I suggest you head over to Normandie's channel where you can start. The link to his channel is in my description. Once you get done with an episode, hop on back here for the interiors for the same deck. Like I said, each of my episodes will directly correlate to his, for simplicity. That being said, I must get to the parameters of my series. I will not be showing how the decks are built. I am building those right along with you. For the most part, I will be starting where he left off. My starting points may look a little different than yours due to me always being a deck ahead. However, I will do my best to show the area we'll be working on. Depending on the deck and the space needs, I will probably be modifying the existing layout to incorporate those needs. Of course, I'll describe the changes needed. I'll be showing you the layouts of the various rooms, hallways, turbo lifts, etc. The actual aesthetics of the rooms I will leave to you, the viewer. I may show you what I've done. Whether you do the same is completely up to you. It's your build. You can choose whatever styles and colors you want. I'm just here to give you the interior structures. Now that that is all out of the way, let's get building. So Deck 42 houses several ship systems and power sources. There's the antimatter generator, the antimatter loading hatch, a fill port, a tractor beam emitter, as well as the warp core and antimatter jettison hatches. Unfortunately, we never saw any of these lower decks on the show, so everything I'm about to show you is my best interpretation of the blueprints. If you're curious, I am designing the interiors of the decks using the blueprints designed by Rick Sternbach. I'll place a link to them in the video description. As you can see, my deck looks slightly different from where Normandie finished off in Episode 1, mainly due to my having begun work on Deck 41 already. I've used these gold blocks to give a general outline of where the original deck ended, and I'll put up a screenshot from this video as a comparison. Not to worry though, we will only be working in the area between these green blocks that I've placed. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about the warp core. So the warp core here is very different than the one that we built by the end of the first episode. Actually, in Episode 6, Normandie went and changed his design to look something like this. It actually looks like this. I did make a few changes to it though, because I wanted to make sure all of the redstone circuitry was hidden. So I designed it slightly different. It's a little lower than what he has. This part is exactly the same. All the internals, everything here is the same. I just dropped it down so it's level with the floor, and I put all the internals underneath, which I did a little bit differently than he did. I was going to go into detail about how I set this one up, but I changed my mind, mainly because, what's this block here? Mainly because I am actually working on a completely different setup. So I don't want to bombard you and confuse you with different warp core setups. You can leave it the way it was at the end of Episode 1 and wait till Episode 6 of his channel, unless you've already done it, to make changes, or you can wait till mine, which might be about the same, Episode 6, when I finally finish my setup. I can show you quick my prototype if you want to see. We'll just teleport over to my other ship real quick. If you don't have Essentials, I highly suggest you get it. I'm finding blocks in the Essentials add-on that are very helpful. But here's my concurrent design. Doesn't look that much different, but the blocks actually, I managed to get it so the blocks actually chase each other better. That's just my own OCD, I guess you could say. I wanted to make it look like they're actually pulsating and going up. But I have a whole setup for this. I'm still working on it. This is just a prototype. I'm working out the bugs and the kinks. Hopefully by the time episode 6 rolls around, I'll have it all flushed out, and I can show you how I did mine. Again, it's pretty much the same setup that he has. It's just the internals are different, the way it operates. But anyway, let's head back over to the other build. There we have it. So, like I said, that's the warp core. You can leave it the way you left it for now. If you want to build it the way he shows you in his episode 6, go right ahead. However way you want to do it is fine. It's not going to affect anything here. But one thing he did change in episode 6 was actually the width of this opening for the warp core. So we're actually going to take that into account during this episode, just to make sure everything pans out okay. So when the time comes, I will make those changes right into this build for this episode. But for now, let's start with everything else we need to do. I lost my toolbox. There it is. So I have a few add-ons on here. Obviously, World Builder, which is clutch for something like this, especially since for deck 41 we need to remove a bunch of the smooth stone that he had laid down because we want to level the floor. We want a nice level floor all the way across the deck. All right. So there's a bunch of blocks we're gonna have to remove, a bunch of smooth stone blocks. And some of the outer hull blocks also have to come out, but don't worry, we will correct those afterwards to, fix the outer hull. Not a big deal. So let's start doing that right away. We're going to start here on this corner. So let's see, where's a good place to... Well, I guess if you're looking down from the... where's a good point? Alright, from this set of 2 blocks, right here, which is on the outside of the phaser array, we're actually going to remove these first. I'm pretty sure this is all open. I mean, it's closed, but there's circuitry and wiring and everything else that would go through here. So I'm just leaving them open. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove the smooth stone that he had us put down in the episode. So if you come from, again, we'll look from up here, give you an idea. There's the front of the deck 41 build. But if you come to the end here, all right, it's right where it dips down. All right. If we go 2 blocks up, we're going to remove this block, this block, this block, this block, this block, and this block. So there should be 6. Yep, 6 blocks. All right. Remove those 6. And then we're also going to remove from this block all the way over to here, this corner, which is 16. So it's a 16 by 6 area of blocks that we want to just get rid of. All right, so just like that, let's remove them. All right, so that's that area done. Now, again, from here, we're going to go back to where it dips down again. All right, which is right where it dips down on the orange line. All right, so right in front of this orange line, right here. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this. It's going to take some time. So just underneath the orange line that goes across, right underneath this area. So if you want a reference point, we have from the phaser array, go 2 blocks, we go down, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we have another dip down. We want this row, we want to go underneath the orange line, all the way to this corner, all right, which is 17 blocks. And then we want to go from this corner all the way to where it dips down again, which is another 10 blocks. So it's 10 blocks by 17 blocks. All right. Oops. Let's actually select them properly. All right. So all those smooth stone blocks, we say goodbye. All right. I'm just going to work down by levels here. So now where we got rid of from this corner, we go back and over one to where this lip is. And we're going to remove this whole section. All right. So it's 13 blocks by 11 blocks. Right? So this whole section of blocks has to go away. And you'll notice there's more still to remove. So let's go back to this corner. We'll make this easy. We'll go back to this corner. We'll select this one. We're going to go all the way to where this line ends. Okay? So this is 25 blocks from that corner. And then we're going to go out by 13. So it's 25 blocks by 13 blocks. All right, you got 325 blocks there. All those have to come out. Okay? So now we're left with this section. So from here, we need to remove this all to this side, which is 17 blocks. And then down to here is, let's do this again. Oh my God. That's 11 blocks. So 11 blocks by 17 blocks, I think it was. 11 by 17. Yep. So this section, we have to remove this section as well. All right. All right, so there's that whole section done. We have one more area over here to remove. And you'll notice that you probably have a gaping hole here now. From when you removed those and other holes and whatnot. Don't worry, like I said, they'll all get filled up. All right. So now, let's come over to this last section over here. All right. Right along this wall here, we're going to go in to this block. We're going to take out this row of 13 and this row of 9. All right. Just like so. All right. As you can see what's happening here with my glass blocks. I'm using glass blocks to show you what needs to get removed or replaced or whatever, just like Normandie does. I think that's a pretty decent setup. But as you can see, the floor is leveling out, except for this one section up there, which is fine. We'll work with that. But you'll see the floor is leveling out. All right. Right now, you're going to see that this actually kind of dips, but we're going to actually put the floor above it, so you won't even see it. Let's go back to this corner over here now. So this corner, let's come back to this whole corner over here. You should have smooth stone blocks and then a lip. So come over here to where this corner is. We're going to get rid of this row of 8 with 8 by 11. Right? Remove this section here. Oops. Oh no, hang on a second. Try this again. And there you go. And we're actually gonna, we have to remove this section too, but we're gonna hold off on that for right now. Alright, so there's what a nice flat floor, or what will be a nice flat floor. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to Alright, let me check my notes. Give me a minute here. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Next, we're going to replace this orange line. Alright. So, come down underneath this orange line, underneath this block, and remove whatever's there, and place another block underneath it. Alright. Then we're going to take this block, which is one over and one down, remove that, and put another orange block. We're going to take this line all the way to here. Alright, so let's select this. We want an orange concrete. So we're going to take, like I said, that line, and we're going to run it to here. So that's 10 blocks total. Alright, so there's the first one. Now we're going to go down a step, replace that orange block all the way to here, which is 20. So you want to go 20 orange concrete blocks towards the stern. All right, there's that. Now come back over here, and we're gonna, from this pillar, leave a gap of 1, and we'll put an orange concrete right here. And we're going to take this all the way to this wall. All right, so that's 47 blocks. We have 47 blocks. Again, leave a gap of 1 from that pillar, put an orange block, and then you want a total of 47 blocks from here all the way back here. All right, let's fill that in now. Like so. Okay, that's what that should look like. That's just your center marker. You can leave it orange if you want. You can leave whatever color you want. You can make it match the floor, however you want to do it. But that's your center marker for the ship. All right. Now, next up, we need to start filling in these yellow blocks. Now, the yellow blocks are all floor. I'm using this netherite irregular tiles as a floor because it kind of looks like a metal-y type floor. I don't know, like a machine room. I'm pretty sure that down in this area they're not going to have all nice carpeting. It's all, you know, it's workspaces. So it's going to be, you know, deck plating and stuff. So that's the closest I could come up with. You can use whatever color you want. You can continue with smooth stone or different colored concrete blocks, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. I'm just using this. All right, so come down underneath this lip here, and you're gonna notice there's probably a gaping hole or something, but we're gonna put block underneath this lip. We got to close this off. We're gonna fill it in all the way underneath to here, which is 16 blocks. All right, fill that in. We're going to do the same thing on this corner, here to here. All right, and fill that in. And then again, the same thing from here all the way to this corner, which is another 12 blocks. All right, fill that in. There we have it. All right. Now, we also got to do it over here. So after you've done this one, come down a corner, come down a block, go to this corner, all the way to Here, it's 11 blocks. It should meet up with the smooth stone when you're done. Okay? So we'll fill that in just like that. So after you've done that, what we're going to do now is we're going to go all the way down to the corner here, turn, and then from 1 block in, we're going to take these 8 blocks and we're going to change them into the floor block or smooth stone, whichever you're using. Now we'll take this corner and do the same thing. Go all the way down till it meets up with this smooth stone, which is 13 blocks, and fill it in. And I think there's one more all the way down here at the end, where we removed all this other section here. So from this corner, right, we want to do that. And then we want to go all the way to here, which is 11 blocks. 11 blocks from this corner, and we fill it in. Okay? So that should take care of all of the gaping holes, you'd say. Now, it's time to fill in the floor. So it's pretty much the same. We're going to take this whole section here, and we're going to fill it in with the floor. So we have from this corner to this orange block here, where the lip is, we have 160 blocks. All right. And then we fill it in. There you go. I have these here because we actually need to dig down and put blocks in, but that's just my markers. All right. Now, let me see where I'm going to do it from. I just realized there's actually one more set here that we have to fill in. Right along where this drops down, there should be another gaping hole underneath, which is 13 blocks. As a point of reference, it's 2 block, total 3 blocks down. So 1, 2, 3. And it should line up with this floor here. All right, so we're going to fill that in too. All right, that should have just closed in all that. So now, what we need to do is we need to fill in this entire floor with whatever block you were using, either smooth stone or carpet tiles or whatever floor you want to use, all the way up to where we put this orange line, right? So we're just doing, because the rest of it I will show you afterwards. But yeah, we're adding the floor all the way across, like so. All right, so this entire area, has to be filled in. All right, so I'm going to do that now, and then I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so now your deck should look like this. All right, we got a couple rows of blocks, then a dip down, a bunch more blocks, however many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 3, 6. Yeah, row of 10, and then it starts your floor. All right. You got the orange line going all the way down. Okay. One quick thing before we move on. Let me just grab a stair here. So this row of blocks, we're going to remove this row of blocks here. I forgot about that before. And just replace them, well, facing the right way. Replace them with stairs, like this. Alright. Now I'm using these netherite large brick stairs because they kind of match the floor better. Come on. You know what? There we go. And it makes it like a gradual step up, or a ramp, or whatever you want to call it, rather than just a big block. So just looks a little bit cleaner. All right. So One other thing I neglected to mention, and I'm sorry. Where we replaced this orange line, alright, this row of 47 blocks, right? Once you're done, once you've put those blocks down, what you're going to do is after this block here, right, go one block over and put a gray concrete, and then delete everything afterwards. Right, we're going to delete everything along this line. Like so. We're just going to get rid of every block that's on this line. Alright, all the way up. All the way up to this top row. Okay? So leave this top gray line with the black, with the gray concrete. And I think there might be another one on top of it. Based on the setup. I'm so sorry if I'm confusing you at all. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll try and answer them. I usually get to all my comments. But I'm doing the best I can. Hopefully this will get a little easier as we go along. But like, yeah, as I was saying, just take this line and you just delete everything all the way up. All right. This area here is for the tractor beam emitter. So yes, this whole section here is actually going to be removed, with the exception of that row of gray concrete. Like I said, it might be 2 rows. I think it is. But yeah, so I'm trying to see if I can figure out. Here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4th one up, leave that one there. All right, should be a big empty space. The tractor beam emitter is going to go in here, but I won't be doing that until the next deck, because it attaches to deck 41 and it hangs down here in deck 42. So that's what that should look like at this point. All right, now let's move on and let's do the back half here. So what you're going to do is get some light gray concrete. Right where this gray concrete block is, you put 2 light gray concrete. And we're gonna move over 1 and 1 back, and we're gonna put 3 more. This is the outer wall that you're seeing right here. All right, we move over 1, then we put in 3 more. 2, 3. All right, over 1 again, and then we'll do 2 more. All right, and then we're going to go over 1 more, and this line is going to go straight up to that line. All right, so we're just going to remove this all the way up the line here, and then add your gray concrete in, like so. All right, just like that. So you should have a section that looks like this. All right, and once you do, we can get rid of everything in the middle. All right, everything all the way down. All right, let me just do this real quick. All right, just everything goes. Including the smooth stone and the gray concrete underneath it. All right, just like this. this too. Alright, let's do this easy way. So, this. This. Fill it. Do this. Here. To take care of all that. Boom. Alright. Now what you can do is you take your gray concrete, or light gray concrete, and just fill in all the gaps. We're basically just making an outer wall. Alright. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, there's our outer wall. And you can take some gray concrete and fill in this to make your center line. Alright, put one there too. And you can go all the way up. If you want to, you can fill all this up too. Why not, right? So, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just raise them all the way to the top. Like so. Alright. Fill them all in. Just like that. Right? Basically, we want this back row that we didn't touch should line up with this. All right. A little bit easier to show you how far up you take off. All right. Should line up with the top of the wall. Okay. So now let's move on. Now, everything left in here is the floor. Now we'll just... I will just do the floor. Alright, now I got a square. Good. Take this, and fill it in. Boom. Alright, there we go. There we have it. We have the floor done. Alright. It should be looking like this right now. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can take a look. I'm going to pause it here just to make sure that everything matches up. And I'm going to get set up for the next step, and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. As you can see, I've laid out the deck, the remainder of the deck. Just the walls and some staircases, the antimatter generator over here, some other bits and pieces. One thing I neglected to mention is that this ship is symmetrical. So we've been working on the port side, and I'm hoping you've figured it out by now, that everything we do on the port side, you also do on the starboard side. It's exactly the same, just opposite. So if you're going out to the left by 2 blocks, over on this side, you need to go out to the right by 2 blocks. So exactly symmetrical, except for the antimatter generator. The side of it is opposite. So there's a long wall or tube or whatever this is hooked up to a pipe to some other piece of equipment. on this side, and it's the same over on this side, but instead of going to the rear, it comes up to the front, and this piece of equipment is actually smaller and wider. So, but we'll go into that when I get to that part. No big deal. First, we're going to come over here. We're going to deal with these antimatter input or whatever they are, fill hatches, fill tubes, or whatever they. I really have no idea. What they're fill ports of some sort, and they're actually enclosed in this room that on the blueprints is considered the antimatter ejection hatch. So if they ever have an issue, they have to get rid of the antimatter. They just release it from here. They open up the floor or whatever, and away it goes. But we're gonna work on this whole area here first. So let's get moving. So come over to this wall here, and we're going to, starting on this block. All right, we're gonna count back by 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should be on this orange, the 5th orange concrete block. Move over to the left by 1, and what you're going to do is you're going to break every block all the way down through the ship. You want a gaping hole. Don't worry, we're going to fix it later. And then just put yourself a gray concrete there. All right. So then come over by 1 and go down by 1. All right, over by 1 to the left, down by 1, and same thing. We're just going to bust through the wall. So do that 3 times. All right. So you should have 3 open holes, and then we'll put gray concrete there, and then 1 more here, all the way down. All right, so it's 1 over 1 down by 3, and then over to the left, or right rather, and down by 1 for 1. So it should be a square when you do both sides. Now we're going to do over on this side. So come to this where this lip comes down, and same thing. 1, 2, 3. This time it's 4 orange concrete blocks. And we're going to go to the left by 2. So 1, 2. Again, make sure you go all the way through the ship. And then 2 gray concretes. And we're going to go over and down by 1. And we're going to break 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fill it with your gray concrete. And then we're going to go to the right and down, and then for 2 more. Alright, so then we have our 2 little squares. Alright, quick and easy, no big deal. So let's do the staircase next, why not? Alright, so there are a total of 6 staircases down here. There's 3 on each side, all going to different areas. But so we gotta put them in. Now I'm using these fancy little stairs here. This is from the City Expansion Pack. All the packs that I've used so far, I'll try and let you know which ones are for which. But I'll put a description in the, I'll put a link to in the description to the add-ons if you want to get them. I'm using those fancy stairs, but you can use any stairs you want. You can use these or stone stairs, steps, whatever floats your boat. You can use them. But I think they look nice like that. So that's why I want to keep them. That's why I'm using these. So what I need to do actually is I need to put blocks like so. All right. And it's 4 steps. So put 1, we got, oops, 2, 3, and 4. All right. And I didn't, and of course I forgot to tell you where to put it. Sorry. So come from the middle here. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the 7th block, you're putting the stairs going up. And it's 4 stairs. It's 4 steps up. Like I said, you can use these if you want, and you just, you know. Really? Come on. You know, you can do it that way too if you want. Doesn't matter, however way you want to do it. But you just need a staircase going all the way up to the 2nd floor. All right. So I'm sticking with those. So now that's done. We're gonna do the walls. Now the walls I've done are just basic walls. Nothing fancy. A couple images I've seen of like cargo bays and whatnot just had plain white walls. So figuring this isn't like crew quarters or family or visitors quarters or anything else. It's work areas. So I'm just gonna stick with the plain white walls. Again, you can use whatever color you deem appropriate, but we're gonna do it this way. So basically just white concrete and gray concrete. And so we're gonna start here. From this wall, you're going 1, 2, 3 blocks back, and 1 to the right. And we got that wall. I'm gonna put 1 here too. And the walls are up here. They're 2 blocks high. Excuse me. When we get down past the step, they're 3 blocks high. All right, so let's come up here. Just the easy way. So after you place this 1, go to the left and come down by 1, and we're going to put a gray concrete. 2 of them. Next to it, we have white. Go down 1 to the left. We have 2 more whites. All right, and I got because the staircase in my way. So facing the back of the ship. Now we go up. We go up by 1 and over to the right now by 1, and that's a black concrete. Next hit is white. We go over to the right, up by 1 for another white concrete. Over to the right, up by 1 for another white concrete. Over and up for a black concrete. I don't know if you're catching on right now, but it's basically 3 whites and 1 black. 3 whites, 1 black, all the way around. All right. So after this one, we're going to do white. And then right here where the step is, we're actually going to break all the blocks again, all the way down to the bottom of the ship, and then just replace them with black concrete. Like so. All right. So this is what it should look like so far. All right. Now, starting from here, we do 3 whites, and then a black, and then 3 whites, and a black, and then 2 whites. All right. So starting from the step here, you should have 3 whites, a black, 3 whites, a black, and 2 whites. Now, leave this one empty, and then come next to it, and we'll put a black concrete there. And then next to it, that's 3 white concretes. And we're going to come back and over 1 for another black concrete, and then 2 more whites. And then back and over 1 for another white, then a black, and then 2 more whites to get right to the middle. Okay? So it should look like that. I'll just top them off. Remember down here, they're 3 blocks high. Alright, I'll just do this real quick. Oops. Alright, and then the blacks. Alright, so should look like this right now. Alright, want to pause here a second and take a look, but should look like that. You should look something like this. Alright. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to do the outer wall. Again, it's the same principle for the most part. It's 3 whites, 3 white concretes, and a black concrete all the way around. So this one, we're going to start right up here against the wall. And starting from the middle one, we have 2. All right. Then right next to it is a black. I'm just going to do 1. And then we do 3 whites. All right, down and over 1 for 3. Down over 1 for a black and a white. down and over to the left for 2 more whites, down over to the left for a black and a white, down over to the left for 1 white, and do it again, and down over for a black and a white, and then down and over for, this time we're doing 1 white, and then remove this smooth stone here and put a white block there. All right, so it should look like that. Okay. So then next to this block, we're just going to bust all the way through the hole, and then we're going to put 3 black concretes there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just like so. All right, moving on. So from this one, we're going to go over by 1 and put a white concrete, and down and over, and we're going to go 2 down. So 1, 2. All right, so it should be 1 and then a 2. And go next to it, we'll put a white concrete, and then a black, and then a white. Right next to it, 1, 2, 3. Go next to it, and it's white, black, white. White, black, white. Directly next to it, we'll do 2 more white concretes. This time we go over and down, and we'll do a white and a black. Alright. Over to the left by a block and down, we got 1, 2, 3 whites. Directly next to it, we got a white, a black, and a white. Or, it's gray. I'm saying black, but it's gray. And directly next to this one, we have 3 more whites. 1, 2, 3. Directly next to this, we have another white, gray, and white. White, gray, white. Whoops. Let's not destroy more than we have to. Okay. And we go right next to it, and you should be up against this wall. We have 1, 2, 3 white concretes. All right. So I'll zoom out a little bit, give you an idea. This is what it should look like right now. And almost halfway there. So that's what it should look like right now. If you want to take a quick peek, take a screenshot or whatever. So moving on. So now from this block where we left off, we want to go knock out, sorry, my mind went blank for a second there. We want to knock out 2 of the smooth stones and replace them with white concrete, but remember it's 3 high. All right, same thing with this one. Knock out all the way down to, make sure you're down at the bottom, 2 or 3 blocks, however many you got to knock out. All right, you don't want to go through the ship on this one. You just want to go down to the bottom of this pile here. So now I'm lost. Hang on, 1, 2. Oh, this was supposed to be black. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just like that. All right, when you're done with that, we're going to move over 1 and back 1. We're going to do 2 more whites. Directly next to it is a white, a black, and a white. White, gray, and white. Directly next to that one is 3 more whites. 1, 2, 3. Directly next to that, we have white, gray, and white again. Directly next to that, we have 2 more whites. We're going to go over and down 1 for a white, gray, and a white. White, gray, white. Directly next to that one, we have 3 more whites. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we'll stop there for a second. I'll zoom out again. This one's kind of tricky, so I want to make sure you guys can follow along and see what it looks like. Alright. Alright, moving on. Now we're at the widest part of the wall. So this one, is pretty decent. So we'll start with a white block right here, right next to this one. We'll do gray, and then 3 whites. Then gray, and 3 whites again. And then gray, and 3 whites again. And do it all again. And one more time. And I lied one more time. Alright. So after this long row, you should have... We'll start up here. After this curve in here, you should have a black. And then you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll put a black here. So you should have 6 groups of 3 white concretes and 1 black concrete. Not counting this, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 3 white concrete and 1 black concrete. So kind of looks like that. Alright, moving on. In front of this black concrete, we'll put another one. And then we're going to go to the left. We're going to put 3 whites. 1, 2, 3. We're going to come in by 1. Give it a white. And we'll do a gray and 2 more whites. And next to this, we're going to do 2 whites. Then a gray. And then another white. Come back by 1. We'll do 3 whites. And then at the end here, we'll put a gray. Come in front, we'll put a gray and 3 whites. And back. 1, 2, 3. Alright. In front of here, we have a white, a gray, and 2 more whites. And come back again, 2 more whites. Another gray, and another white. Come back in front of it again, and we'll do 3 more whites. And a gray. Come back in front, we'll do another gray. 3 more whites. Back in front, we'll do a white. And 2 grays. Now we should be on the back wall. Alright, again, he'll zoom out so you can take a peek. Should look like that. Kind of looks like a fish. I think kind of looks like a fish. But as you can see, we're almost done. Alright, so now turn, face the back wall. We're going to do 3 whites and a gray. If I can get there. Alright, and we'll do it again. 3 whites and a gray. And then 3 more whites and a gray. And then one more time. 3 whites and a gray. And we should be right up against this wall now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 3 whites and a gray. Okay? Turn to face this wall. And we'll start with a gray block. And then we'll do 3 whites and a gray. And we'll do it again. 3 whites and 1 gray. And one more time. 3 whites. Okay. If I stop breaking stuff, that'd be great. 3 whites and 1 gray. Jeez. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That should take us right to the end of the wall here. Right, so now in this corner, we're just going to put a white block. And then come in. We're going to do a gray and a white. Come in by 1. We're going to do 2 whites and a gray. Come in by 1, and we'll do 3 whites. And then come in again, and then it's a gray and 2 whites. And that's it. That's the outer wall. And that's what the outer wall should look like. Let me just get a good zoom of it for you. There you go. That's what the outer wall should look like. So go ahead and pause it, take a screenshot, whatever, if you want to match it up. Alright. So now we just got to build them up. Just remember, above these stairs here, the walls are only 2 blocks high. Alright, so we'll just do this real quick. Alright, and then once you get down to the step, it's 3. Everything's 3. Alright, I'll do a few. I'm not going to bore you with me filling in all the walls here. Just so you know, everything's 3 blocks high. Alright, just like that. So everything should be even all along the top. Alright? So that's the outer walls done. So next, we're going to do the warp core ejection hatch. Alright? So, coming from this beam here, which by the way, when we're done, this beam is only reference on these 2 beams are only reference points. They don't have to stay here. You can get rid of them. They're not going to be needed anytime. The only time you may want to keep it until you're done with the next deck, because that's your reference point for the following deck. You know, like when Normandie's talking about things for the next deck, he's going to mention these beams. So might be good to either put a block above or whatever, or you can keep them, whatever you want to do. I'm probably just going to get rid of them. In any case, so from this structural beam, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blocks from the beam. And then to the right, or port side, by 1. We're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to just bust through the ship all the way, and then and then add a block. Alright? And we'll do that 2 times. Bust through the ship all the way, add a block. Okay? So you should have, let's just double check again. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, which you should put, you're right next to the warp core. And then you can put a block here too if you want. And then it's 2 next to it. So in total, when you're done, you should have 5 blocks going right across. Alright, so go to the right and go forward by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so skip a block, go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then skip a block, and just like before, it's 3. 1, 2, 3. And then just fill them in. Alright, that's the warp core ejection hatch. You know, whenever they gotta eject the warp core, it goes right through there, out the ship, gone. But that's what that should look like. So now, while we're here, we might as well put a railing around it. Now, again with the city pack, has they're street light poles, but I think they look pretty decent as for fencing. So what we'll do is we'll put a pole right there. So you have one in the center, you have one in the end, okay. And then we're going to put, so then come in and come back by 2. Alright? So it should look like that. You're going to go in by 1 block, and you're going to go out by 2. There should be 1 block away from, a 1 block gap between the gray line and your pole. Okay? And then we're going to go gap of 2, gap of 1. Give me a second, let me just double check this. Gap of 1. Alright? So we're going to go a gap of 1 and put another pole there. And this time it's a gap of 2. and another pole, and a gap of 1 and another pole. And then the same thing on this side, the way we did it over there. So you have 1 in the center, and you have 1 with a gap of 1. Just like that. Now the railing is this structural beam, which is from the furniture builder add-on. Again, I'll have all these add-ons linked. And you don't have to use these. You could literally just use fence railings and maybe slabs over top. Yeah, whatever way you want to do to put a railing around. These add-ons are not necessary for the build. I just use them because I think they look better. But you can absolutely use, you can use a fence railing. May not look as great, but let's see, fence. We can use a fence and maybe some slabs, right? You can totally do a fence with some slabs on top. Make a railing like that too. However way you want to do it. I just like the way these the add-ons look. So with this, it's a structural beam, and you just run it across, just like so. All right, so you're gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put 1 right on top of here, and just run it all the way across. So you get to the top of it. Whoops. So you get to the top of that one, and then we'll just go like this. I usually leave a gap, but you can extend it, but then it does this cross thing, which I really don't care for. So I just leave the gap open. You can't get in anyway, if you try. So it doesn't affect anything, and I just think it looks nicer. So there's a railing around the warp core. Okay. So next, let's do these other staircases. And just to make life easier, we're just going to put blocks behind here, like that. All right. So the staircase, come to the pole here. So the block right next to the left of it, right? Block next to right to the left of it. You're gonna come back by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the 7th block, you're going to put a stair, which I don't seem to have. I got rid of it. The 7th block, you're going to put a stair, and then just work your way up. Again, only 4. Okay? Of course, I went the wrong way with it. Ay. So let's try this again. Sorry about that. So again, it's the 7th block, but it's facing the other direction. It should be facing the center of the ship. So let's just double check. All right. Pole, 1 block to the left. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on the 7th block, your stair actually has to go up towards the center. All right. As you can see here, they both meet in towards the middle. All right, so that's what that should look like. Okay, again, any stairs you want. I just like these. I like these. They look nicer. And we have one more to do in the back here. All right, this one's facing the correct way. Just double check. All right, let's do that. So from go to the front here, where this gray concrete is. We'll go 1, 2, 3 to this gray concrete. This This one here that's got a white and gray, right? The two block one. We want to go from this gray concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. Make sure you're facing the center of the ship, and it's 4 steps up. Like so. Alright. There's your 3 staircases. Got one down there, one there, one there. Again, the same on the opposite side. So you have 6 total. Alright. So, give me a minute. I'm going to finish up these walls here, and then we'll move on to the antimatter generator, which is going to be a little tricky. Alright, so give me a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And as you can see, I finished the walls. Got them all up to height. Before we move on to the antimatter generator, I want to go under the ship, and let's correct all the stuff that we've destroyed under the ship. Alright, let's get under there real quick. And this is really simple. So come to where your hatches are, alright, and just trace them out. So put a gray concrete right where they are, like that, all the way down. Alright, like so. And one more over here. So we want to we actually want to come down on for the warp core hatch. We actually want to come down by 1 like this. All right. You want it to sit 1 block under. Right, so you should be putting 3 in. All right. So after you've done that, you just fill everything in. Well, hang on 1 second. Sorry. Come to your center line here, and we'll just run the center line out, but don't go in between the hatches. All right. So we'll just continue running your gray center line all the way down. Just don't go between the hatches. Oh. Anything up there I have to worry about? Yeah. Let's put that back. Alright. And just continue running your center line all the way out. Alright, so center line should be done now, all the way down the ship, except for in the middle of the hatches. Now, you just fill everything else in with light gray concrete. So we'll do this. We'll do this one. And one more here. Alright. And now you just cover everything up with light gray concrete, like you did when it was smooth stone. Basically, the areas we blew out, you're actually lowering parts of the ship down a little bit, but it doesn't really matter too much. It still comes out pretty decent when you get done. Alright, let me just bang this out real quick. But, like I said, you get the idea. We're just going to cover all of the flooring, or whatever's now showing, with light gray concrete all the way down. Okay. Just like so. And just work your way all the way down, all the way back to the front of the ship. Alright, all the way back up to here. Alright, I'll do all this in my final jump cut. I'll just show you real quick. Alright, all the lips. Make sure you get in between the hatches. All the lips you see. Make sure they all have light gray concrete on them all the way down. All right, and just fill it all in. All right, I'll do that in the final jump cut. But let's get back up to the top of the ship, or deck rather. So now we're gonna do the antimatter generator. It's pretty simple. It's a giant circle basically with a couple things coming off of it. So let's come over here to the center of the ship. All right. So from this pole, you're going to go back by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On a 12th block, we're going to put, I'm using polished iron blocks. I'm not sure what pack this is in. I think it's in, excuse me, I think it's in the more blocks pack, but you can use anything you want, really. You can use regular iron, or you can use white concrete, whatever you want to do. And it's a generator. It's a giant machine. So I just figured this kind of looks the most machine-like. So that's what I'm using. Again, you can use whatever you want. The looks and feel, or the looks of inside these rooms, all up to you. Anyway, so like I said, we go, well, let me just double check. I think it was 11. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On the 12th block, in the center, place a block, whatever block you use. All right, and then go over by 1, like that. All right, we're gonna go up 1, and we're gonna place 2 more. Then we're gonna go up 1 and do 1, and then again, and then again, and 1 more time. Right, and then we'll turn, we'll come back by 1, and we'll put 2, just like that. Right. Now we're going to stop there for a second. Right. Give yourself a gap of 3, and then put 2 more. Okay, just like that. And then we just repeat that this way. So we go back by 1, then back by 1, back by 1, back by 1. And then back by 2 this time. 1, 2. And then back to the center. Like that. Alright? It's a giant circle. There's a hole in the middle, but you'll see why in a second. Now, each of these blocks is 3 blocks high. Okay? Right to the ceiling. All right, get in here. Oops. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. All right. So when you're done, it should be a giant circle in the middle. Okay. So now this is where things are different. So, oh, I almost forgot one more thing. I imagine it's also kind of roundish, so I actually put right down the center, I put another block. Just all the way down the center of the thing. All right, even, except, leave these outer ones alone for right now. All right, so go from the center, come all the way around. Once you get to these 4 single ones, put 1 there, and as for right now, leave these 2 alone. All right, and then we'll go back in, and we'll continue this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 2 there, and 2 there. All right, kind of gives it a roundish appearance. Okay. Now, like I was saying, this is where things differ. So if you want to pause and get that circle shape done first before we continue on, go right ahead. But now we're going to continue on with the differences. So I'm going to do the port side here first, and then we'll do the starboard side. They're pretty much the same, just going in opposite directions, and this end piece is different from side to side. So, like I said, we'll do the port side first. So, here we go. So, starting from this block, which is the ones closest to the bow of the ship. All right. Come over and back by 1 and put a block there. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you should have 12 blocks total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 12 blocks total. All right. Again, they are 3 blocks high. Try not to destroy anything. Okay. So it should look like that right now. Now, from here, we're going to go towards the back of the ship by 2, and then towards the starboard side by 2. All right, so it's towards the back by 2, and then towards the starboard side by 2. And you're going to put a block right there. All right, so it should have, let me get rid of this. All right, should have like an L opening. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. So once you do that, you're going to put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks. All right. And again, this is also 3 blocks high. Okay, one more. Okay. And come in front of it, and it's the same thing. So it's 2 identical rows of 10 blocks, 3 high. Now you should have a block of 2, 3 high by 10, and then the single one which is 12, going all the way to where this opening was. Now in the city pack, they have this drain pipe, which I think works pretty well for a connecting pipe. So what I do is put one here. Don't worry, it'll change. And then we'll put 1 on this block here, or 2, and then you see that they change. So according to the plans, it looks like a feeder pipe that goes into whatever that is. So yep, so that's that. Now what we'll do is we'll take, again, we'll continue the putting a block in the center of each one like this. And again, no, not out here. Just to there. Alright, so that's what that side should look like. You want to take a look? Let's go do the starboard side now. Now, like I said, it's identical to the other one, just starts in a different spot. And goes to the bow rather than starboard. So, again, from this set of 2, which is at the end of the circle, from this set of 2, closest to the stern, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's exactly the same as the other one, just starting in the back and going towards the front, instead of starting in the front and going towards the back. Alright. Just like so. And then don't forget your center blocks, like this. Okay. So same as before. Well, almost the same as before. Let's get rid of that. So from here, we're only going to go one towards the front, and then 2 back, and put a block there. All right, and this one's 3 wide by 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one's 3 wide by 4 deep, and it's, again, 3 blocks high. Alright, we'll just get rid of all these real quick. Alright, what I could do. Now, if you don't get any other add-on, I suggest you get World Builder. If you use nothing else, use World Builder. It's going to save you so much time during this build. If you can, spend the $5 or whatever it is and get this add-on, because it's unbelievable how much time this thing saves. So I'm going to do this quick and easy. I'm going to select that one. I'm going to select this one, and I'm just going to fill it in. There we go. There's our 3 by 5 by 4 by 3 blocks. All right. And then same as before, we're going to take the pipe, put one there, put one there, and then connect them up. And I can't show you from the top, but this is what the starboard side should look like. The smaller square block here, where on the other side is more of a longer rectangular block. But that's it. That's the inside of Deck 42 complete. All we got left now is the roof. The ceiling. The ceiling is pretty simple. Alright, so we'll start off. Get yourself gray concrete, or whatever color you want to use, and just run a line over top. Nope, not that. Run a line over top all of your wall blocks. Like this. Okay. Like this. Alright, try and do this as fast as I can. All the way around to the front of the ship. Alright, and don't forget your inner walls, do them too. Okay, and then I would even put a row on top of the generator here, just like this. And I'll show you why in a second. Cover all of the top blocks with light gray, like this. All right. All right. Now that that's done, we're gonna put the lights in. So, I've gone through painstaking detail to make sure that all the walls line up. So this gray line should line up to one way down there, hopefully. And same thing side to side. These gray lines should all line up, all right? Because what I do is I take the lights and I run the line from the gray lines, and I go the length of the ship with the lights. Now take care to not cover the staircase. Alright, so leave a gap for the staircase, and you should, if you want, should be the staircase should have 4 blocks open. All right, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4. You should have a gap of 4 for the staircase. Okay, just like that. All right, I think it's a gap of 4. Let me just double check. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll just do that. There should be 4 blocks from the. You should have a gap of. You should have a gap of 4. All right, because you need to be able to. You need to be able to walk up and down the stairs. Anything less than 4, and you won't be able to get up there. But like I was saying, so I'm running these lights all the way down the length of the deck. Oops. Well, I lied. It doesn't really match up to the up front here is a little different. Anyway. That's pretty much it. We'll start back here. Again, we'll just run a line. And now I had you put the light gray concrete on top of the antimatter generator because I imagine there's, I'll put a couple here. I imagine there's no lights inside here. I'm picturing this as being a completely sealed unit. There's nobody going to be inside of it, so there's no need to have lights in there. So, which is fine. So we'll just we'll just continue from here and work our way back. Oops. All right. Oh, we'll get to this in a second. Actually, it's a good time to get this now. So, one thing that Normandie did in his episode 6 is he actually widened this. So, I don't know what you have right now, but this is actually the width it's supposed to be. So, when you're doing this, when you're putting the ceiling on, make sure the gap matches his new thing, so you don't have to worry about changing it later. So, what I mean by that is from this beam, went 1, 2, 3 blocks. On the 3rd block, put a gray concrete, and you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And from this gray beam, or this smooth stone beam, you have a gap of 1, and then on this orange block, put another gray concrete. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just join them up. That's your opening. Alright, that's going to be your opening all the way up the ship. Alright, so then, now that that's there, we're going to continue the lights. Right, I just put one on there, and then put one there, and just continue working our way down the length of the ship. Don't forget to do it inside this room as well. Alright, and then we got a couple more there. Alright, just like that. It's funny, they're not even. Oops. Pardon me while I fix this. No. I had it right before. But that's not a light. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Alright. We just continue down the line. Alright, I'll do one more for you. Now I'm using these white frog lights. Alright, they're white frog lights. I believe they're in the pack more lights. absolutely do not have to use these if you don't have the pack, don't want to get the pack, whatever. Does not matter. You can use sea lanterns. I like these because they look more like just white lights than any of the other things I've seen. So this is why I'm using those. Don't forget the staircase. That's right. But like I said, you can use sea lanterns. Now, the only thing I don't like about sea lanterns is you see all the lights I have now because of this. The thing I don't like about sea lanterns is that frame around it. You know, they look nice and all, but I don't care for the frame so much. I prefer the plain white lights, because if you look at any of the photos on a ship, the lights are just white lights all the way throughout. But I mean, you could do that, and maybe let's see, like a trapdoor. You know, maybe like this iron trapdoor. Let's see what this looks like. And you can maybe put trapdoors over them. You know, kind of give that look. That's not too bad. You could do something like that. But yeah, I chose those frog lights just for that purpose. So yep, we'll just continue down the line here. Just like so. Oh, a little more. Boom, boom, done. Alright. Perfect. So now, we'll do... Basically, we're doing a string of lights every 3 blocks. Or every 4, really. So the gap of 3. And then a row of lights. It just so happens that they mostly match up to the gray concrete lines on the walls. So I'll do one more. Go down the line here one more time. Alright, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I messed something up here. Oh no, I do have never mind. Oh, that's right. Between this one and that one, you're gonna have a wider gap, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a gap of 5 between these two, which is perfectly fine. You can see there's a slight gap there, but perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. And just continue working down the line. And in between the lights, you guessed it, gray concrete, light gray concrete. Just fill it all in. Just gonna go ahead and fill in the entire ceiling with light gray concrete. All right, here, fill this section in. All right, all the way down, including, obviously, this also gets filled in. There's just no lights in there. Right. More. Right. And just fill everything in on here, in between the gray, except for your warp core opening. Right. And don't forget to leave a gap for your staircases. Like I said, should be an opening of 4 blocks total. So we should have 1, 2, 3, and that makes 4. Keep checking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something's off. Anyway, I'll figure it out. If I have to, I'll let you know. But all your staircases, make sure you have a gap of 4. 1, 2, 3, and I just left 3. 4. Okay? Opening of 4. And why does this one seem like it's off a bit? One, two, three, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, because I can't count. So. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Wow. Anyway, like I said, fill all that in. Make sure you leave opening for your staircases. Don't fill in around the warp core. But everything else gets filled in. Don't forget your lights. And I'm going to finish all this up, and I'll be back for the finale. All right. I'll see you in a minute. All right, there we have it. We are done with Deck 42. Take a quick peek underneath the ship here. All of the gray concrete has been filled back in. Some of the some of it's a little lower than it was before, but it still works. Still works out. Still looks good. Still got a nice curve to it. Here's the opening for the tractor beam emitter. All right, that'll get worked on the next deck. And there we go. There's the top. All right, should look like this: a giant fish right in the middle of a square, you could say. All right. We'll take a trip down. Head on down a staircase here. And here we go. Inside of Deck 42. Got the antimatter generator right there. Got the warp core. Okay. That's the hatch. The other hatch over here. There's actually probably some room to get around the outside. Tight quarters in here, but I don't think this is much of an access port for anything. Okay. If we go back up the stairs and then we go down this staircase, or any one of these two over here, and this will bring you inside the antimatter ejection hatch. I have no idea what kind of equipment's in here or anything. I don't know if they're just pipes going straight up. I have no clue. There's nothing listed for what this is, and we've never seen it, so I may get creative and come up with something. If I do, we'll revisit this area again. But in the meantime, this is what we got for Deck 42. There is some other little pieces of equipment down here. I forget what, but nothing huge. It's kind of just a big empty space. So, yep, this is it. There is one other quick thing that we're going to do. This is something that's not on the blueprints, and you can see it right over there. We're going to make our own little secret room. I'll tell you about that in future videos, but it has something to do with the warp core, so we're going to call it the warp core control room, I guess. So, if you come down here to where this, we're on the starboard side, by the way. That's the front of the ship there. So to the left, this our port. No, to the right. I don't know my lefts and rights sometimes. But that's the front. To the right is the starboard side. So, on this section here with the long wall. All right. And find yourself, I found about the middle. I guess if you count that one, it's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. All right, and just break yourself 2 blocks. Just destroy 2 blocks. Put yourself a door in, and then break 2 smooth stone blocks and put in yourself a set of stairs. I'm going to use this area here for the stuff I'm going to need for the warp core when I get that done. But just figured there's an open hole here. Let's fix that real quick. The only time you'll ever see any of this area, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I just figured I needed a place on the ship for what I plan on doing, hidden and out of the way. So made ourselves a secret little room. Not on the blueprints. This is not part of the ship design at all. But it's going to come in handy when we redo this warp core. Because it's not going to be going to look like this, but it's not going to function at all the same. So, but yeah, but that's it. That's it for me for episode 1 on deck 42. If you like what you saw, please give me a like, give me a hype. Have any questions, concerns, comments, anything at all? Feel free to put something in the chat. I always try and respond to all my comments. And if you're following along with Normandie Junction and I, if you haven't done it already, head on over to his channel and start episode 2 for him, which is actually deck 41, which again I have way over there that I've been working on, trying to make sure everything lines up. And everything lines up, or I got everything adjusted so it lines up, which is why we're doing a tutorial, but I need to finish designing it and do deck 40, make sure deck 40 sits nicely on top of 41 and everything lines up there before I do deck 41. So probably be a little while. Let you know, this is the easiest deck on the ship to do. They just progressively get harder and harder from there. So going to be a point where the videos are going to be long, far between, and I apologize ahead of time. But that's it for now. Hope I didn't confuse everybody too much. It's only going to get better, hopefully, as the more I do this. Yep. Like I said, that's it for now. Until next time, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.